You traded Corbett the other day, and I just wondered how you felt, first of all, on the Corbett thing, and then also on the offensive line.
Well, on the offensive line itself, I'll address that, is they have to be a little more consistent in their play, and that's real. With Austin, I'm going to do what's ever in the best interest of this organization, and I thought yesterday was the appropriate time. I want to wish him best, and the new environment will be good for him, but I'm going to do what's best for this organization. And at the time, I thought it was probably the right move right now.
Something else you could do on the line or whatever to make it better?
Yeah, I mean that's for coming down the road.
You say that you can improve the offensive line, but that's coming down the road. Obviously, the trade deadline coming up. When you say down the road, do you mean farther down the road than that, or can you still do something by the trade deadline?
Well, we'll do what's best for the Cleveland Browns organization. We'll do our extensive research. We'll make a million phone calls. And if we think that we can, improve a position, we're going to, regardless of what that position is, we'll go about it if we think it's the right fit for the Cleveland Browns.
You're saying both with Robinson and Hubbard, you'd like them to be more consistent. What effect do you think it has on Baker Mayfield when his two tackles aren't playing consistent enough? Do you think that seeps into a quarterback at all if he's not sure about his protection?
Well, I mean, you can imply that, but if you start the season, if you remember, all of a sudden Greg gets removed from a game, and then all of a sudden you have to rotate the tackles, and all of a sudden another tackle gets hurt, and then you have to play rotating tackles again. So there's got to be a cohesiveness of those five guys on a consistent basis, and they haven't been in unity here together and being able to operate as one. And that's what you want your offensive line to do on a week-to-week basis, is be together with five guys working together.
But four of those five guys are the same guys who played together in the second half of last season when you guys protected Baker so well. I think that's been a little bit of the confusing part, is that we've seen this line, for the most part, protect Baker, and now there are times when it looks like Baker is not as comfortable in the pocket.
Well, I mean, that's, again, that's you have to be more consistent. It's not one isolated player or one isolated incident. It's a few things all just happening at random times that kind of reflect the question that you had just asked.
This is the bye week. The trade deadline is in for 2 weeks. Is it safe to say you'd like to accomplish something this week with this bye week? If you're going to do it, that will affect the lineup?
Well, what I'd like to do is constantly work the phones and do some research, and whatever happens, happens. If nothing happens, you move on and go to the next project.
Nothing happens. You did trade for two offensive linemen right before the start of the season. Do you think that there's an in-house lineup change that could give you better offensive line play that you can go to?
Well, I think, again, once we get doing our self-evaluation and our assessments, we'll come to some conclusions and determine which way we're going to head.
Bruce Allen lately?
We've had a few conversations. Is there anything you want me to pass on to him?
Ask him if he's going to trade that tackle.
What tackle?